As you know, the growth of population in Europe is almost negative. So it is clear that we need young people to fulfill the vacuum. And I think the subcontinent, with its current population structure, could be one of the best choices for legal migration.
Well, Japan has a birth rate problem, and they are doubling down. They're going, oh, yeah, we will f them all. That's okay. That's okay. We don't need angry black man. Let's go to Japan. Japan right now, too. They're moving the other way. They're moving further to the right. And right-wing means different things in different countries. In Japan, my understanding, having done a little bit of a deep dive this weekend, is they don't want more immigration. They want to kind of clamp down on immigration. And their right wing wants to be prepared for the threat that is China. That's a big thing. So they just had an election. And it was very definitive. Their conservative party in Japan, the LDP, it's been their most dominating election win since World War II. But that's actually probably a good thing. I know you hear Japan since World War II. Are they acting up again? No. This is good for everybody. Here.
Supporters applauded Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi on Sunday after her coalition swept to a landslide election win. The 64-year-old called the rare midwinter snap election to capitalize on her high approval ratings after becoming Japan's first female prime minister late last year. US President Donald Trump last week gave Takaichi his total endorsement and said he would host her at the White House next month. China will also be keeping a close eye on the results.
And this is how, I guess monumental you would consider this. Even in Okinawa, the LDP flipped District 1 from the Communist Party, and they've held it since 2014. So Sky News described this as breaking. Japan's ultra-conservative prime minister is set to seize more power after an exit poll had her securing a big majority in the country's lower house. Then the New York Times, Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi of Japan was set to win a sweeping mandate to impose a conservative agenda. They're not happy about it, right? The left is not happy about it. We'll get into why. Also, by the way, you're going to go on to watch Real America's Voice if you are not a Rumble Premium member. And if you want to support this and enjoy the free content, none of it happens without your membership. We continue for another hour every day. We have a Friday show, $99 a year to join Rumble Premium. Mug Club, you get this wonderful hand-etched mug, or you can try it for $9 a month. It keeps the lights on. Why is the left so mad, though, about this? Well, that's because the Japanese are embarrassing their countries in many ways. Like Canada at their own game at the Olympics. It doesn't sit well. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
For the Canadians.
Dominated by a crab. That
sucks.
Very patriotic crab, too. They're very proud of their... They're not ashamed to be Japanese.
No,
they have an advantage.
Very polite.
On ice.
The spider crabs?
Yeah, spider crabs.
Yeah, they probably have like more barbed feet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well...
or barbed feet in general.
Yeah.
Because humans don't have barbed feet.
No, we don't.
Not yet. We'll see.
More. I mean, the hills of West Virginia, I'm sure there are a few.
Flippers, yes. Barbed, no.
So, and here's the crazy thing, is when you look at a nation like Japan, right now they're saying, okay, we don't want a bunch of migrants, especially not those from the third world. That mirrors what a lot of Americans think here. This issue kind of boils down to, let's assume that we all identify a problem. All right. Problem is we have a birth rate problem. And Japan has had this problem for quite a while. They're not the worst anymore, but it's pretty severe. We have that problem here in the United States, right? We are not at replacement rates.
No.
All right. The reason for it is because the left told you for a very long time to not have kids. For the sake of Mother Earth. Okay, that's the big reason for it. Not the only reason. The left also told you wait longer and longer and longer and pursue things that will be more fulfilling, like jobs, money, traveling,
sleeping around.
Yeah, all of these things will be more fulfilling than raising a family. Okay, but we all recognize a problem. Here's where we are, birth rate problem. Okay, you kind of have two paths if you want to fix it. The left has picked a direction. It's very clear. We have a birth rate problem. So you need more immigrants. You need to bring them in because you don't have enough people. Or the alternative, and people are afraid to say this, encourage younger families and people screwing more and having more kids. And the good news is both of those can be mirrored through policy. The better news is that encouragement and incentives for people to get married and have more children, that's actually easier to do than mass import migrants. But the left has chosen their path. We need these people. We need these people because we don't have enough folks. Now the right needs to be just as loud with, we need more people. Let's go back to valuing families. So the birth rate thing, it's a problem. And listen to how European leaders classify it and what direction you think they want to go.
As you know, the growth of population in Europe is almost negative. So it is clear that we need young people to fulfill the vacuum. And I think the subcontinent, with its current population structure, could be one of the best choices for legal migration.
Without migration, we will starve. Because we need also migration, but we need it in an orderly way. And this is the journey that we have to do together.
There are many countries around us, and similar calculations are being made for us, which say that there will be a major economic problem. This is due to the fact that the working population is shrinking, the experience of the last years and decades, and what is important for the future, that we have had economic growth in the last 20 years, that we have managed to make our country economically successful in recent years. This was and is due to the fact that many women and men from other European countries and from other countries around the world have pitched in, contributed their talents here and ensured that this economy moves forward. We can find so many people who want to lend a hand.
To be British is to be tolerant, reasonable, compassionate and diverse and fight for it against the toxic division of reform.
Well, Japan has a birth rate problem and they are doubling down. They're going, oh yeah, we will f more. That's okay. We don't need angry black man.
No, it feels good, so it'll work out.
It's okay, yes. It's a time for Japanese to get more kinky.
Tonight, my wife and I was sleeping in the same bed.
It was right. Very freaky.
Easy there, Josh, easy. That's a little
I
too
will
far.
show her my samurais. Japanese steel, very strong.
After through prowling, my wife, she will feel like her snatch coming to seppuku.
I read a fortune cookie. Fortune say, sex.
Please. When I'm through with her pussy, we'll call it Hiroshima.
I will have so much sex, I will have a crabs. Japanese pelvic crabs.
That's right. My wife pet a name for me, Japanese spider crab, because it feels like there are 8 of me. She swears there are 8 of me.
Just need butter.
So let's see how it works out for Japan. Hey, all right, birth rate problem, have more kids.
There you go.
Also, let me ask you, because people will say, well, there's no guarantee that you raise your kids right and that they, they continue your traditions or that your values remain instilled in them. Sure, there's no guarantee, but let me ask you, as far as a voting base in this country, what do you think happens if God-fearing, patriotic Americans have larger families? Okay, so we fix the birth rate problem. What do you think that voting demographic looks like versus the alternative, which is importing people from third world nations? What do you think is more likely to lead to a sustainable and successful nation? Let's go that way.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
I can guarantee you the people coming in don't share your values.
Right.
So, and by the way, there has never been a guarantee with your kids keeping your culture, your values, never since the founding of any nation.
Right.
So, but it's a much better prospect than bringing people in.
There is a guarantee that people being brought in and their votes being purchased, that they will vote more left as a voting bloc. That is a guarantee.
They're always going to vote for more free stuff.
Yep.
Here's one thing that worries me. I don't worry about an America that's less white, and that's just for that fact. I don't worry about being a minority. That's not what I worry. What I worry about is the rhetoric about how awful white people are and how we are an oppressor and how we've done this and we've done that and we deserve this and we deserve that. And then you import these people from other places and then you preach that to them. Mm-hmm. They get that message that we are the oppressor and something needs to be done and they need to take over. And then by the time that we're old, and we're in our, 60s or 70s or whatever it is, and the country looks a lot different, and it's full of people who don't like you and think that you're a problem. And now you're not going to get the care you need.
No.
If you need medical care, if you need assisted living, you're not going to get you're going to be a second-class citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what I worry about. It truly is the only thing that I really worry about.
The left is very effective with it. When I did the black and white on the gray shoes at the barbershop, Gerald knows I didn't want to air it, and the reason why is because I said people are going to be more racist having watched this, because everything was seen through the lens of race, and you could see how ignorant they were of fundamental facts. For example, there wasn't one black man in that barbershop, not one, who believed me when I said, what if Donald Trump said, I'm not talking about white supremacists or neo-Nazis who should be condemned totally. What if he said those words? Would that change your mind? Like, well, I don't know if he did, but I don't believe that he said that. That tells you that the left has been very effective in lying to people, in propagandizing people, and marrying it with race. So they believe that we want to oppress them because of something that didn't happen.
Right.
Or because of information that they were proactively led away from. They believe that, and they vilify people based on a lie. They vilify Donald Trump based on a lie, and they will vilify you based on a lie. And so at a certain point, you can't have everyone else engaging in groupthink. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, we're all the same. Not if everyone else says we are not all the same. And specifically, when everyone else is saying we're all the same except white people, like you saw from Wu, that representative. Yeah. All of us share a common bond. Our problem is white people. That's a very, very dangerous place to be if it gains more momentum. Yeah, it really is.
I can't imagine saying that about any other race.
No.
It'd be...
And I wouldn't.
Yeah. It'd be... What is it? Is it reprehensible or irreprehensible?
It's reprehensible.
Reprehensible. Thank you. I almost went an ethnic maybe.
That'd be the wrong direction,
yeah. It'd be reprehensible to say that about any other race. Like, hey, we got to get together and do something about these blacks.
Right.
Like, we all have to come together and realize that this is the problem in this country.
Yeah, Asians, Hispanics.
Like, doesn't that sound terrible?
It does. It's evil. It's straight from the pit of hell evil. And I don't think it's evil to go, oh, well, if you're seeing us as a group, I guess we should probably act as a group.
That's what when you put a group of people in a corner, they're going to team up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. Yep. It happens in every teenage movie. Oh, now we got a common enemy. Yeah. It's those kids from upstate.
Right. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Well, what do you do when every single other group is proactively being convinced to ally against white people?
Yeah. Well, and Josh, your thing is that you said in the 90s, I wouldn't have worried about this country becoming less white, because in the 90s, my friends that had come from other countries were absolutely proud to be an American. They were absolutely proud, and what they've done is they've taken it to make it to where people that do come to this country have no expectation of becoming American anymore. And so now I am worried about our country becoming less white because of how the system is set up.
Right.
That's what I'm worried about, because it's no longer about just, well, is white, black, Hispanic. No. It's not that. It's culture. And trying to erase this culture and say that this culture is bad. But Bad Bunny, he did something that really pissed me off, and I didn't get to say it during the segment, but he said, God bless America. And then went down and basically replaced the United States and said, no, we're not talking about the United States. Like, God bless America at the Super Bowl. By the way, if he doesn't like how he's being treated in the comments after the Super Bowl, go perform in your own. Oh, that's right. You don't have one. You're in the United States of America. Why don't you say, God bless the United States of America? If you want to say bless all these other countries too, that's fantastic. But you took something that is ours. God bless America is something that we hear in songs, that people say at tragic events when they're trying to rally around a common good and a common cause. They're saying it in foreign countries when we show up to help in disasters or to save them from oppressors, real oppression, not fake oppression here in the United States. God bless America is our thing. And it does not mean God bless Canada.
No.
Canadians can say that.
By the way, you can't ask.
God bless Mexico. Mexicans can say that.
You cannot ask God to bless both the United States and Venezuela. You can't. You can't. You can't say, no, God takes both sides equally. No, there has to be a right and a wrong. And God bless America means we have, at this point, 50 states, and all of us under one common idea that all men are created equal, that we actually recognize government doesn't serve to create rights out of thin air. It serves to recognize God-given rights and protect them. And that's why we had wars that were fought, because people made sure that we were really clear on the interpretations. But you cannot, it'd be like saying, God bless both the Allies and the Nazis. Well, God's going to pick one.
Hold on. Yeah.
Right? There's nobody else would say, I'm both a Nazi and an American, right? As far as World War II, no one would say that. No, but you expect God to be the only one? Like, no, I'm the same. It's all the same. It's silly. It's silly.
It was just thrown in our face. It was like, no, I'm going to take this thing that has a meaning and a history and a purpose, and it's a part of our culture and our fabric of being as a nation, and I'm going to twist it into something else. It's like, no, sorry. You guys don't get to do that.
And you know who I guarantee you thinks that Bad Bunny is a dipshit? Every Cuban American.
I bet.
They might like some of his music and they might start tapping their toe involuntarily. I get it. It flows in them. But they do not share that same. I will tell you this.
I feel that way about a lot of people, though. A lot of celebrities and artists. They're total morons and dipshits, or I just straight up don't like them, but they make good what they do. They make a good version of it. Music, movies, TV, and...
but I mean the people who are in communist Cuba who will, by the way, risk life and limb to get here, they don't hear a guy like Bad Bunny go, and God bless America, including Cuba, Puerto Rico, and United States. They'll be going, no, I want to get to the United States because goddamn Cuba, straight to the pit of hell so that maybe one day, God willing, God can bless Cuba by the Americans coming in and overthrowing this communist totalitarian regime. Right. But you can't say God bless Cuba where we are right now living under turmoil and oppression, and God bless America as though we're all the same. As a matter of fact, I will say this, with Hispanic Americans, you kind of have Mexican Americans, not all of them, but a good chunk of them, Puerto Rican Americans, and the rest. Meaning there is an anti-American strain or a gringo strain that you don't really see from Cuban Americans, certainly from, I would say, Argentinian Americans, Chilean Americans, Peru. They don't view white people as a bad guy or oppressor. That's not been my experience. You'll have some Mexican Americans who do. You certainly will have some Puerto Rican Americans. They are not the same as Cuban Americans or other people from South America. They come here, if they make it here legally, they don't view their white neighbor as their enemy. That's just not been my experience, and statistically, that doesn't really bear out. So that's something that he also is slapping those people in the face, because many people from those countries would do anything for the opportunity to be in the truly blessed country, the United States of America.
Yeah, and we are not a part of the Americas. We are the leader of the Americas.
Yes.
Without us, this does not matter. Okay, I'm sorry, that's just our place in the world. You want to have that place of preeminence? Go build it. We did with blood, sweat, and tears. You could theoretically too. 2026 there too, I've heard. Somebody said that.
Somebody said that. I don't know who. Hey, if you're still watching this, you may be one of the 6 million or so subscribers on YouTube who is, for one reason or another, I don't understand it, still here. So back in the day, I would say click one of these videos and subscribe, but really just head on over to my channel on Rumble. Follow me there. I'm live 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I actually say the things that I mean to say. On YouTube, it's everyone here is kind of neutered, really, and there's just a general lack of testicular energy, but I mean that in the heterosexual way. Mostly.